Welcome back to Let's Play Darkest Dungeon. I'm your host, Timepants, and today we are going to be doing yet another requested party. We're going to be taking poor Baliol, Canoeville, and Thorold. And the theme of this party is Healer, Heal Thyself. Now, the terms of the run are, it's got to be a long run, and you have to take party members that can only heal themselves, not other people. Now, we're obviously stretching the rules a little bit here because, I mean, depending on how you interpret healing, of course, Cry Havoc is a heal on another party member. And I'm sure you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, hold on, Grave Robber? Yes, Grave Robber, because she can, in fact, heal herself of blight and bleed, not, hit points like we're probably going to want here. I think it's a good party because it's a dodgy party. Dodgy, 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 tanky. We get 2 camping logs, and rest assured, we are going to make use of both of them. Alright, so we are going to be going to the Warrens, which I think gives this party the best possible chance for success, and we're packing heavy on food. This is our healing, right here. I mean, in between fights, this is our healing, and we really can't afford to sacrifice too much. I think we don't skimp too much on these. 1, 2, I don't know. I think we could probably afford to even skip the keys entirely, but there is a chance that we find the secret room, and if we do, we want to have at least 1 key. Holy water, I think we can ditch entirely, and there we go. Alright. Are we over preparing? Yes. I don't care. Let's go. Alright. So, this is actually a run that I've wanted to do for a while and just never got around to it. The main problem being that I just didn't have the party members.
They breed quickly down there in the dark, but perhaps we can slay them even faster.
He's talking about they're boning down here. Alright, so what do I think is going to be the biggest struggle? No question, stress. She's the only one who's really resistant to stress, and actually I probably should have brought a whole mess more of these, because we may need to use... Never mind. Alright, did I bring... Yes, for the most part, we did get our good skills. Okay, good. Alright, so let's venture forth. Hopefully we're going to get scouting here. By the way, I like this setup for the Grave Robber in this particular situation. Dodgy, no, but if she winds up in the front row, this is an awesome opportunity for her to buff up her dodge and really convert. I've actually been a little bit disappointed in how poorly the Grave Robber has been able to administer stun. So, hopefully that little satchel there is going to rectify that situation. How do we want to do this? I do think we are going to be dodging a lot more with our Houndmaster than perhaps we had been previously. And I think that's prudent.
A faint hope blossoms.
Not here, obviously, but I think it's prudent because, yeah, healing is going to be a bit hard to come by. So, I think the best thing we can do is be proactive and just avoid taking as much damage as possible. An ounce of prevention is worth about... How does the saying go? Oh yeah, an ounce of prevention is worth about $250 uncut on the streets. So, hopefully we'll get our first little bit of scouting here. Once our fight is over. Surprise means so much. Alright, let's do everything we can here to try and knock out... Let's see. I mean, that is a long, long shot. So I think we actually try and get a kill here. Alright, good. We got one. And, that I really wanted the Hellion to go first. Because if she hits and doesn't get a kill, then we know we need to mop up. I think Hound's Harry is the safe bet here. Oof, that was good. And please have enough bleed to die. Oh, thank goodness. Alright. I was really worried there that him moving out of Iron Swan range was actually a bad thing. That would have sucked. But, so far, so good. That was the wrong play. Let's fix that right now.
As the enemy crumbles.
Alright, so here's the question. Do we camp early? I can't believe we haven't gotten any scouting at all, and honestly, that is almost an indication to me that we should camp. Yes, okay, I think we should camp. Hear me out. We're going to go a little farther. We're going to go a little bit farther until everybody's going to get a benefit from a feast, I think, because that is going to be one of the few opportunities we have for stress relief. I mean, obviously we have this, but we can't reliably target any one character. I think we go a little bit farther, but I think we want to camp early because if we can get scouting, I mean, we keep that. You know, we only keep our camping buffs for 4 rounds, or for 4 combat events, but we keep the scouting forever. Those rooms are always going to be scouted. So, I think that settles it. At our earliest reasonable convenience, we are going to... Okay. And we have our first real test. That is horrible. That is horrible. Okay, that is horrible. That sucks so much. Okay, how are we looking? He can't do it for the front row. Okay, I think we have to back off. Yeah, just 1 point of bleed. I think we have to back off because we want her to be able to move forward and at least have some kind of activity. Yeah. Gosh, what a terrible round 1. Yep. Well, we were looking for an opportunity where it would be reasonable for everybody to camp. Here we go. All right. We can't afford to mess around here. We have to end this fight. That seems like such a waste, but I don't think... Well, we could get kills. We didn't, but we could. And... Stun resist, okay. Alright. That's fine. We're gonna minimize our damage here. I think we eat up. Yum yum. And... That could be it. Oh my god. Oh, please don't get the debuff. Please no. Until camp. Alright, that's good. Please don't get a disease. Oof. Okay. Alright. Not terrible. Or, at the very least, not as terrible as it could have been. But, yeah, we've got to take one more swing. Boy, they really know who to target. Alright. That was a good round because he's dead. And how do we want to do this? You're dead. Okay. This is fine.
The slow death.
This is fine, okay?
Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Well, that's what we brought it for, right? Whew, okay, we survived that with incredibly minimal damage. Like, that could have been so bad. And instead, it was just kind of bad. I'll take it. Okay, so this does provide us a reasonable opportunity to camp. Hopefully, we don't get into a fight here.
Trick of the light?
We do, okay. One more chance for things to go wrong, especially since I didn't rearrange the party. Do we still have the buff here? I think we have to bet it. Beautiful. I didn't rearrange the party. That's okay. We can actually make use of the stun right here. We have enough bandages that I'm not worried about the bleed too much, as long as he doesn't crit. And, I mean, we're feasting, right? Might as well. I mean, we're basically wasting our food if we don't put ourselves in danger of a stress attack early on. Okay, this turned out well. And how do we want to do this? I can never remember which rows he targets, but I think this is our first good opportunity to just try and play defensively, keep things from getting too out of hand, and let's see. Plus 40 stun resist. It's still got a chance. I mean, this isn't his plus stun trinket, but there you go. Alright. That went well. Is that a waste? Yes, but I mean, what else is she gonna do, right? Okay, well, I'm not happy about this. But okay, I'm really not happy about that. Let's quit screwing around here and let's close this out, please. And we can't morph. That was a terrible round. Did I fail to plan there? Yep, and if we get critted, I would have deserved it. The game let me off pretty light there. Oh my god. Please don't call me out for delaying, because really this is just my own incompetence. Let's see. Well, we don't have the ability to buff anybody up. Would have been actually pretty nice if we...
As victories mount,
yeah, it would have been pretty nice if we had
too will resistance.
Cry Havoc. Maybe we should have that around just to be, again, proactive in those rounds where there's not much else to do. Or at the very end of a fight. I like it. So, have you ever had surgery? Like, when I was young, I was completely invincible. Maybe you didn't know that. No, when I was young, I was... like, I had this sort of arrogance about me.
The way is lit. The path
Like,
is clear.
I had never had to have,
follow it.
like, major surgery or anything like that. I never had a broken bone, never had a cavity, you know, never broke a tooth or anything like that. Like, I mean, you know, a lot of people...
gathered close.
You know, there's that sort of that attitude that young people just feel like they're invincible. But I felt like mine was pretty well founded. I felt like the guy from Unbreakable, because yeah, like I never really got hurt. I never had to go to the hospital or anything like that. Well, that's not true. I had all sorts of weird jungle diseases growing up, but it was, yeah, I never really got hurt, like physically injured. Not badly enough to really warrant concern or anything like that. You know what? As tempting as it is, I think that's self only. Okay, be careful. So yeah, obviously, you know, I just sort of had this thought that, well, you know, I'm never going to get hurt. I'm never going to wind up in the hospital. I can do whatever I want. And that entirely unwarranted sense of confidence carried with me all the way through to adulthood. And it was at that point when I was running to catch the last train in Tokyo. You know, maybe you've never been on a commute before. Maybe you've never been to a place like Japan where it is an entirely train or mass transit based society. But if you miss the last train, I mean, that's it. There's no last chance. There's no bus system that you can resort to. That's it. You had one job, and that was get to the train on time. You didn't do it. So you're homeless tonight. Like, tough break. Be on time next time, right? I think I'd rather the bleed than the stress. Or neither. So, yes, as I was running up the stairs, and had I been drinking,
Remind yourself
yes,
that overconfidence is
but again,
and insidious
I'm
killer.
invincible and nothing bad ever happens to me. So I'm running up the stairs and I stub my toe, and it sounds like like that's a punchline, but no, I stub it like real bad, like real bad. Like, you know, when you stub your toe, usually you're like, ow, that sucked. Ouch! And, you know, you kind of shake your foot a bit, walk it off, and, you know, a few minutes, it's like it never happened. You know, life gives you a do-over. But I really, like, I jammed the shit out of it. Like, I really messed myself up. I get home and it's all, like, purple and, like, the nails half peeled back in, like, a weird place. It was horrible. I was not happy about it at all. And it didn't heal right. Like, you know, at first I was just like, man, that doesn't look good. Maybe I should go to the doctor. Nah, it's probably okay. Because remember, I'm invincible. So, you know, days go by, turn into weeks, turn into a month and a half, and yeah, that's still not looking real good. In fact, it's looking pretty gross, actually. And yeah, it's all like gnarly and just, yeah, funky looking. It looks terrible. And again, you know, at this point I'm like, okay, there's something wrong. I better be careful. Well, let it keep going, and, you know, I start going to the doctor, and he's like, well, we got to do this, we got to do that. I'll let you in on a little secret. I don't think he knew what he was doing. Because, you know, he's saying, okay, we're going to put it in, like, this oil wrap and all sorts of weird stuff like that, instead of, like, maybe we should shoot some antibiotics into the part that looked like an overcooked hot dog covered in Thousand Island dressing. Might be useful. So that was a thing. That happened. And finally, I had to go to the hospital and get surgery, because basically the doctor finally stopped. Like, he got tired of taking my money. He's just like, dude, like, I don't think this is getting better. You better go to the hospital. So yeah, I went to the hospital, got my surgery. By the way, healthcare system over there, and despite this doctor's apparent incompetence, carelessness, I don't know what you would call it, blasé attitude to the situation, maybe. Yeah, he finally said, I'm sick of taking your money. Like, please just go. Stop coming 3 times a week at this point. It's not getting better, dude. You need surgery. And I'm scared because, like, surgery, that's what other non-invincible people have. But, yeah, like, get to the hospital, get a surgery for $300. Thanks, Obama. And first off, you know, the hospital gowns in America, like, well, the hospital gowns, you wear them backwards, right? Like, that's the joke. If you want to see naked asses, you go to the hospital because they're open in the back, right? That's the joke. That's the joke. In Japan, that is not the joke. They don't have them open in the back. They wear them open in the front. So I come into the operating room, and they're like, look at this jackass new guy. Doesn't he know how to wear his hospital gown? I'm like, guys, no, you don't. My culture is superior, right? Like, no, but like, I was the object of mockery. Like, the surgeon was clearly having a lot of fun at my expense in front of the nurses. By the way, my Japanese at this point, not very good. Disappointing. So, I'm not sure exactly what was exchanged, but there was a lot of laughter. So, not very professional. Wasn't really happy about that. But yeah, I got up on the operating table, and he's like, okay, so if it starts hurting, you know, he shoots this local anesthetic into my toe. He's like, all right, if it starts hurting, I'll give you some more. And so he starts cutting into me. I'm like, yep, need more. Give me some more. He's like, ah ha ha, all right, sure. I'll shoot some more in there. Gets going again. No, dude, like, seriously, I'm not sure what you did there, but that was not enough. Please, for the love of God, give me more painkillers. And he's like, all right, dude, chill out. I'll give you some more. And so he gets back to work, starts cutting in. I'm like, no, dude, I don't know why you're putting saline into my foot. Please give me some painkillers. You are actually cutting into a human body. And, like, at this point, everybody is just completely spellbound that somebody could be like this, have such a low threshold for pain. Now, I'll admit, all right, you might not be able to tell from the sound of my voice, but I might not be the most masculine dude. And I'll admit, my pain tolerance is probably not above average. I'd say probably below average. But by the same token, like, I will say this about Japan. They can take punishment, man. Like, this is something that I learned. Their entire approach to, like, painkillers is basically you get half a baby aspirin. Like, before the surgery, I said, like, when I'm recovering from the surgery, please, I don't care what you have to give me. Please give me a lot of painkillers. And they basically gave me, ibuprofen. Like, you think I'm joking? Like, literally ibuprofen. Hospital grade ibuprofen, sure, but ibuprofen. Like, come on, man, this is an amateur hour. Like, hook me up. We're in the hospital, give me the good stuff. And it turns out, no. Good stuff is not on tap. So, they finally finish with me, stitch me up, and, you know, I'm limping home, like, literally limping home. And, I mean, it's mind-bending. You know, I've never had stitches before. Like I said, I don't know if anybody in Japan got the memo, but I'm actually invincible. And so yeah, I'm limping home, like, you know, just gritting my teeth, trying to not like pass out from the pain, because it really hurts. And I swear, the painkillers did not work. Like, finally, after like 4 or 5 shots, I was able to handle it, but, like, it wore off very quickly, and I was back to reality, distressingly faster than one might expect. So, finally, I go back to the first doctor that I went to, and, you know, I said to him, hey, man, like, the painkillers they gave me at the hospital, like, I think are Tic Tacs. Like, please give me some painkillers. He's like, all right. Because he said to me before I went for the surgery, hey, if you need some help after the surgery, if you need just to follow up, you don't have to go all the way to the hospital, just come here, I'll take care of you. Like, all right, please take care of me now. And so I said, yep, doc, I I need something, man. I need something for the pain because, like, this is horrible. I don't think I'll be able to sleep. Like, I can't concentrate on anything because I realize that I'm not invincible. I'm actually pathetic. At this point, I realized, wow, what an awakening that was. And yeah, he's like, all right, man, don't worry about it. Here, take this. Take it to the pharmacy, get it filled. I got you. It's like, oh, cool. Hey, I got a cool doctor. He's not like good at medicine, but he's a cool doctor. He helped me out. He gave me the drugs, right? So I take it to the pharmacy, and I take a look at the script, take it back. And about 10 minutes later, out comes my prescription. Again, like $8. Thanks, Obama. And they're like, do you know how to take these? I'm like, yeah, this ain't my first rodeo. Like, I'm an American. I know how to take painkillers. And so, yeah, they gave it to me, sent me on my way. And I get home, roll them out. Like, wow, these pills are really, really big. And kind of distressingly bullet-shaped. Wait a minute. It turns out that if you want to get the good stuff in Japan,
This is how a life
it
is
only
taken.
comes in suppository form. And for those of you who don't know what that is, well, let me just put it this way. You can take your painkillers and shove them up your ass is not just the attitude in Japan towards opiates, it is actual medical advice. That's right. If you want to get a relief from the pain, you are going to shove an object up your ass
Promises success.
roughly the size of like a magnum bullet. Ugh, God. Oh, boy, that's, wow, a worse image than I really intended for that to conjure. But yes, that's the truth. So of course, 5 minutes later, I'm in the bathroom cramming a suppository up my ass. I realize now that there are a lot of episodes now, a disproportional amount, involving my butthole. Leave a comment if you want to hear more stories about my butthole. It was a rude awakening, to say the least. Like, I realized that day what a mortal man I am. Just exactly how fragile I was truly built. And it was shocking, to say the least. But get it? That was my one surgery experience. Oh wait, no. There was one more surgery experience because I forgot to mention. After about a 2-month recovery period after the surgery, we realized that it didn't actually work. And it got super infected, and like in the space of about a week, got worse than it was when I went to the hospital in the first place.
Be wary.
So that was fun.
Triumphant
I got to
pride
do that again.
precipitates a dizzying fall.
Strangely enough, the second time I went to the doctor, I went to a different doctor. He just took a look, like, said, "Yep, that looks pretty bad." By the way, the first hospital visit, I had to schedule something like 2 months in advance, which was awful. But yeah, I had to schedule it like 2 months in advance. I had to find a time that the doctor was available, that I could take off of work. It was a big mess. So I go to this doctor. He's like a general practitioner. He takes a look. He's like, "Yeah, that's pretty bad. Well, you ready?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll just take care of you right now." What? Like, yeah, it's no problem. Hop up on there. I'll get you squared away. And sure enough, yeah,
A decisive pummeling.
shot me full of drugs, cut straight into me. Was like, all right, come back in a couple weeks if it's not all the way healed up. And wouldn't you know it, it took. So medicine in Japan, hit or miss. I've had well, my experiences run the gamut. No joke about that. But you know, somebody might ask you, hey, would you suck the poison out of your friend's, bottom if he got bit by a rattlesnake? And the answer is, of course, no, that doesn't actually work. But the question is, what would you sacrifice for your health? And I found out exactly what I would sacrifice. It's my dignity.
These nightmarish
Good to know.
creatures can be
Alright, well,
fed. They can be
that was an incredibly effective party,
experiments
and I
should have
feel
never
like
happened.
we can feel pretty
You
good
are
about
doing
that.
just
So,
work ending them.
here's what I want to do. Here's my plan. I think I want to do fewer weird runs. As long as, if I say this, good God, what did you guys do down there? If I say this and everyone's like, no, please keep doing the weird runs. Like, that's fine. Like, of course I'll keep doing it, but what I'm thinking is that I want to do Dark Souls 3 as a Let's Play. And I have a friend who wants to join for a few episodes, so I'm pretty excited about that. He is a YouTube personality named Casino Heist. Is he famous? About as famous as I am, maybe a little more. But yeah, he wants to join. We've played through all the Dark Souls games and DLC together. It's been kind of a favorite series of ours for a long time. So I think we're going to do that. So why am I saying that? Because I want to get through this New Game Plus. So I'm going to do New Game Plus runs twice a week, with a few exceptions. If there are requests for more weird runs or specific party compositions, I'll do those. Like, as they come in, I will do them. I'll find time, and we will make sure that those get played. The other thing, we're expecting that there's going to be a new class in March, and when that new class drops, we are going to go to 5 episodes a week until we max out that class and get it to level 6. So that's the plan going forward. If you would like to revise that plan, just let me know, because I spend a lot of time talking about it, spent a little bit more time thinking about it. I will throw it out at the drop of a hat if people just say, nah, don't do that. So thank you very much for watching and for hearing me talk about my butt, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Another butt episode.